Hello YouTube. Here we are in the land of 10,000 Lakes, Minnesota. My wife and I are up here on business, and I wanted to shoot a couple videos, or a video for sure, while I was up here, depending on how long we're staying. It had something to do with water, because you got water everywhere in Minnesota. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a water filter out of this plastic bottle and a cotton ball. The rest of it we can find wherever we're at. So I'm going to start and stop the video here, or start it and end it here, and I'm going to make the water filter back at the place that we're staying, and we'll go from there. Okay, as you can see, I got a fire pit going here. I mean, you can use a regular fire out in the woods, whatever you're going to use, no big deal. The place we're staying here happens to have a fire pit, and they had some wood scraps laying here that looked like there were 1x12s that they had cut down to start fires with, so that's just what I'm using. Now, to be for sure what you're wanting here, this is getting ready to be doused, because it'll be ready to go here in a minute. I want it so it's just red coals, and that's what I've got. I want the flames completely gone off the wood. That way I know that it's charred through, and it'll be ready to use here. These here, I already did one bunch, and I'm gonna back this up a little bit here. And this is already, I've already burned it down, so it's wet. I'm gonna wait till it cools off a little bit more here, and then I will use it. So, but you want to be for sure that this is getting pretty close to ready to douse. You want to be for sure that all the flames are gone. It's nothing but red coals. That you know that all of the gases and stuff have been burned out of the wood, and it's ready to make charcoal out of. So we'll go from there. So I'm going to turn this off and wait till this goes, and I'll douse it, and we'll be ready to go here. Okay, here's all my pieces parts. I'm going to add a piece of string to the list, or a piece of wire. Clothes hanger will work, or whatever you got, but this is to allow the gravity feed on your water. So here's our charcoal, and what you want to do after you get your charcoal burnt down, you want to smash it up into smaller pieces, because the smaller the pieces, small pieces is what you want. So that takes care of the charcoal, cotton balls, bottle. Here's a survival knife, which is actually my multi-tool that I carry on my waist at all times. In fact, in my wedding pictures, you can see my knife in our wedding pictures, or a knife of this fashion in my wedding pictures. My wife didn't even know it was there. So, and then a piece of string. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to cut this bottle first. I'm going to grab another piece of wood so I can do my poking on it instead of losing a finger. So let's get our knife out here. And we're going to take one of these knobs off the bottle. This is for our water to go in, and we're also going to put everything in through this. So first thing we're going to do then is we're going to take our cotton balls. Oh, there went the cap. We're going to shove our cotton balls up in there. Now we're going to take our cap, which is right here, and we're going to poke a couple of holes in there so our water will drain through it. I think I must switch blades. This is a Leatherman Super Tool. My kids got this for me for my birthday years ago. I said I carry it pretty much everywhere I go. So, all right, there's our holes in the cap. here, and then we're going to cut a hole right here for our string to go in. Try not to cut a finger off while you're doing it. The people over here next to us have dogs, so we left the boys at home with my folks this time we came up here. They were not happy. You get your hole big enough so you can get your string poked through there. It still ain't big enough. And we get that through there, and then we will take and we'll pull the string, if I can get a hold of it again, pull the string up here, and we'll put a couple knots in it so it stays in place. Okay, now that's taken care of. Now we're going to put our cap back on here. And I'm going to go over here and get our gravel. Turn this off. Okay, I have our sand here. I'm going to take the sand and we're going to pour it into the bottle. Make a mess as I'm doing it here, I guess. The coarser the sand, the better. This is what I've got right now. Okay. We want 1 inch to 2 inches worth of sand in the bottom here. And now we're going to take our charcoal and put it in. Ideally, the more layers you have of charcoal sand, the better off you're going to be. But for this purpose, we're only going to use a couple here. So there's, you can't really see it. I'm getting close to 2 inches worth of charcoal here. I'm just going to use all my charcoal here, and then I'll fill the top of this in with sand. Okay, now we're going to fill the rest of this in with sand. I'm going to have to go get the rest of my sand that I've got. I'll be right back. Another thing I should tell you, if you don't have cotton balls, it doesn't matter that you really use cotton balls. You can use a piece of t-shirt, a piece of cloth, anything that's going to be somewhat of a filter, because that's what we're doing for. That's to sort out, get rid of small particulates. So I'll finish loading this up here with the sand. And basically, there you have it. We'll throw our water in there and we'll filter some out. I'll see if I can move it down here to the lake, and I'm going to get some water, and we'll come back here and we'll drain it out and see what we come up with. So I'm going to lay this down here and turn this off. Okay, I went down and I got water out of the lake. You can't really see the stuff that's in there, but take my word for it, there's stuff in there. There's small particulates, and I'm looking, I'm thinking those are mosquito larvae floating around that water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our filter and put it on there. It's up there at the top, there's the hole, and I'm going to pour water that I just got out of the lake into here, and we'll filter some water. And this isn't going to be an extremely fast process, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and filter this water, and I'll show you what it takes here. Well, I guess I can leave it on. We'll do some time lapse here. It gives me a chance to practice that on my equipment. Now, if you're in a real pinch just to get your water clean, so you can use a water filter or something like that, so this works real well. The other thing that you can use is, don't worry about the charcoal if you're just trying to get the particulates out of the water so it's not clogging up your filter. That works real well. The cloth at the bottom, nothing else, just take your bottle, fill it up, turn your cloth upside, or turn your bottle, fill it with, cover it with cloth, and then drain it out that way. All we're doing is trying to get as much sediment out of here as we possibly can. You can see it's a slow process. It's got to go through all that sand and whatever else, so we're just going to turn this off, and we'll turn it back on after I get this bottle done. Because right now I've got about that much out of that bottle. So we're just going to let that sit a while. Okay, I just took that filter off and laid it on the table there. It's been out here for about 15 to 20 minutes. I've got a little over a quart of water, which is a little more than a liter. Well, about a liter. This is a 2-liter jug. It's still a little bit cloudy, but in comparison to what it was when it went in there, it's perfect. I'm sure that there are no big bugs in there whatsoever, but as far as bacteria is concerned, I don't know, and I'm not going to drink it without it. So if I were to drink this, I would let it sit for a good 6-8 hours in direct sunlight in a clear plastic container like this is, and that will kill any bacteria that's in there. UV light is probably the best thing that you can get to kill it other than chemicals. I always carry a small container of bleach, and then I've got chlorine tablets that will do a quart of water at a time, and there's 50 of those tabs in my bag. That's basically how this works. Now, I could have built it on a smaller scale, or I could have built it on a bigger scale. I could have actually used one of these jugs to build the filter with. I've got a water filter that I use to clean pond water, or the lake water, that's where my cabin's at. Basically, it is a 6-inch piece of PVC pipe with a cap on the bottom, and that's sealed. And then I layer that with a pair of blue jeans, an old chunk of blue jean material. I lay that on the bottom, and then I will fill it with the sand, charcoal, sand, charcoal, sand, charcoal, sand at the top, and then I'll put a layer of bigger rocks about this big on the very top, so that way when I pour the water in, it doesn't stir all of it together. But that's what I use at my cabin to take things directly out of the lake if I need to filter it out. And then I will put bleach in with it. I've got a 5-gallon bucket with a spigot on it, and that's what I use down at the cabin if I need to. So that's basically it for today. It's an easy fix. It's not hard to build. I built that whole thing there. It took me about 5-10 minutes to actually put all the pieces together. It took longer to get the charcoal than it did anything else. So that's pretty much it, and keep in mind, knowledge is power. Get some. Well, there you have it. That's quick, simple, and easy. All you needed was a plastic bottle, cotton ball, charcoal, sand, and gravel, and some patience. And I know if you're thirsty, the patience part's going to be hard to deal with, but unfortunately, doing things right is not sometimes easy. Even with, a little fish in the background there. Even if you get your water clean. You need to be careful where you're getting it from. Like this lake here, it's been, who knows what's out here, what's dumping into it. The chance of getting Giardia is probably one of those things that you never want to have, but if you do, it's miserable. So you want to be for sure that you have the right medications to take care of it, because Giardia is miserable. Because when you got to go right now. I've had it twice in my life in 53 years, and I don't plan on making it a fourth. So I carry chlorine pills, and I carry powdered chlorine or powdered bleach in my bag, and I can mix a little bleach if I need to and bleach the water down to kill everything. Even then, after you bleach your water or put your pellets in it or whatever, you're going to want to let it set for a good 15-20 minutes before you do your thing. And I still like to take my clear plastic bottles and I like to leave them lay out in the sun for 6-8 hours. That's if I filter a lot of water. I know it's one of those deals that you just like to sit down and drink out of that lake, but these day and times with all the irrigation and whatever else and acid rain, you don't know what the hell you're going to get. So you just need to be careful. So basically that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.